Hey guys, it's Tony. It's Today in Nerd History.
Today in Nerd History!
Star Wars is filled with so much distinct, memorable iconography and spectacle that it's totally possible to just miss that the movie is brimming with "hey, it's that guy" type of guys. Here are 5 of my favorites. William Hootkins. William Hootkins is probably best remembered as doomed rebel pilot Jack Porkins, who helped Luke on the assault on the first Death Star, and who had a hilariously mean name for an overweight dude. Hootkins was also in Raiders of the Lost Ark as Major Eaton, which might be George Lucas making another stab at the guy's weight. You should talk, George! Hootkins also appeared in Tim Burton's original Batman film as Lieutenant Eckhart, the corrupt cop who's killed by Jack Nicholson prior to his Joker transformation. Hootkins was also the cowardly evil assistant Munson in Flash Gordon, and Maximilian Roivas in the game Eternal Darkness, and a whole bunch of other things across this very lengthy career. So go ahead, George Lucas, call him Porkins, call him Major Eaton. You can't keep a good actor down. Pork guy, oh boy. Julian Glover. Julian Glover's name belongs up there in the likes of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as old guys who just happen to be in a whole bunch of nerdy stuff. Except that Julian Glover's usually stuck in the back, doomed to be an eternal that guy. He first entered the nerd scene as General Veers in The Empire Strikes Back, an Imperial commander whose AT-AT gets creamed by a snowspeeder. But you probably know Glover best as Walter Donovan in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the evil businessman Nazi collaborator who chooses poorly, drinks out of the wrong cup, and gets turned into a quick-dry insta-mummy for his hubris. These days, Glover's hidden behind a giant beard on the most popular nerd show around, playing Grand Maester Pycelle on Game of Thrones. But there's more! He provided the voice for Aragog, the, spider friend of Hagrid, the creepy, I don't like him, in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, as well as Scaroth in the Doctor Who serial City of Death. And you know what? All these casting directors who picked Julian Glover chose wisely. Deep Roy! When it comes to smaller actors, names like Warwick Davis and Vern Troyer get all the attention. But Deep Roy should be a name that everyone knows, and not just because it's a rad frickin' name. He portrayed Yoda in certain shots of The Empire Strikes Back, as well as Droopy McCool and an Ewok in Return of the Jedi. You may also remember him as Teeny Weeny in The Never-Ending Story. But the thing that he's probably best known for these days at least is for portraying every Oompa Loompa in Tim Burton's version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, after impressing Burton with his work on Planet of the Apes and Big Fish. But you may also know him from his stints on TV. He was in X-Files and Eastbound and Down and Doctor Who, and most recently he's been keeping busy as Keenser in the Star Trek films. And between playing Droopy McCool, Grizabella, Mambino, Bonzo, Kidnot Grid, Joker Arayo, and Mr. Soggy Bottom, Deep Roy deserves some kind of Lifetime Achievement Award for playing characters with ridiculous names. But no name is as cool as Deep Roy. Garrick Hagan. Biggs! Yes, Garrick Hagan, the noted theater actor who actually appeared alongside Alec Guinness before Star Wars, was Biggs Darklighter. Sadly, Biggs wasn't around that long in the world of Star Wars. Thankfully, Garrick Hagan was around for a lot of stuff. Hagan, like his fellow Red Squadron member Porkins, was actually in the Tim Burton original Batman film, playing the tourist dad who closely mirrors Thomas Wayne at the beginning of the film. Hagan also has the rare distinction of appearing alongside 2 Doctors in Doctor Who, and 40 years apart. He appeared alongside the 3rd Doctor, John Pertwee, in the 1972 serial The Mutants, and then more recently alongside the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, in the episode A Town Called Mercy. Biggs didn't survive the Death Star, but he survived in our hearts. And a ton of other stuff. Like a bunch. Number 5, Jack Purvis. Big ups to Jack Purvis. He's the only actor outside of the core cast who appeared in all 3 of the original Star Wars movies, and as different characters, no less. He plays the Chief Jawa in A New Hope, Chief Ugnaught in The Empire Strikes Back, and an Ewok named Teebo in Return of the Jedi. While Purvis didn't have the longest career, he did appear in a bunch of other things that you've probably seen. He was in The Dark Crystal, he played Wally in Time Bandits, Dr. Chapman in Brazil, and Gustavus and Jeremy in The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Jack Purvis did a lot of thankless work for Star Wars, so for that we salute him. Bonus, John Ratzenberger. Quick reminder, John Ratzenberger, aka Cliff Clavin, the know-it-all mailman from Cheers, appears in The Empire Strikes Back as the rebel officer on Hoth. While barely noticeable and not at all memorable, this guy went on to have a super successful career. Again, he's most notable for his role as Cliff on Cheers, but he's also the most prolific Pixar actor, having appeared in every single Pixar film. And by virtue of this, is one of the highest grossing actors of all time. Could he have done it without Star Wars? Yeah, probably, but then Hoth would have been short with one majestic mustache. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments below, or you can tweet at me at HelpfulTony if you have any favorite that guy type actors. My favorite is Stephen Tobolowsky, who was in a whole bunch of stuff. He was in Groundhog Day, he showed up in Heroes for a bit, and he wrote one of my favorite movies with David Byrne, True Stories. Real cool movie, check it out. Leave me a message, tweet at me. We'll talk. We'll chat. Hit me up, dudes. Okay, I'll see you later.